Sunny greetings, and I'm with you today to share my learning experience from two projects that I've been associated since 1985 till now, and you see the title is Empowering Young Rural and Tribal Women with Solar Cookers and Lessons Learned from Implementation of two successful models in India. The story starts with Burli Development Institute for Rural Women. I'm very privileged that I was invited to start this institute in 1985, and we were training the young girls and women who had never gone to school in a very integrated approach of socio-economic development, health, literacy, and vocations. But we just happened that Department of Energy, Ministry of Renewable Energy, Deepak Gadia, Professor Sani, and many people came forward they chose the Burli Institute to set up first Kepler cooker and test it. And it started as a testing phase, and it goes on because of its very sincere, dedicated efforts of my late husband, Jimmy McGilligan. And this institute is Baha'i-inspired NGO. And it has been working since 1985, and we were initially started with box cookers, but then 95 the beginning was Kepler cooker, and during that period of my service there, 1985 to 2011, we trained 6,000 young girls and women. In this picture they are taking the dish up to make the proper kitchen, and the first direct solar cooking kitchen established in central India, designed and made by Jimmy, with the first dish made by Deepak Gadia at Burli Institute that has been cooking for 300 days for about 100 people, breakfast, lunch and dinner every day, and it is still going on. And then a storage cooker was also added there, and you can see that it's functioning very well. This is the chapati we were talking, and when the girls saw this kitchen working at the institute, they started asking, how can we take the solar cookers in our house? Because the same situation as Nepal. We have the whole place is deforested, women have to walk miles, 20 miles, and there are a lot of cracks and there are a lot of socio-economic, psychological problems. So Plage and Intersol came forward through Deepak Gadia. They approached Burli to set up giving the cookers away to the women. One thing that we were very sure, as India has been suffering from one particular factor, when we gave technology to people and did not train the users, they blamed the technology. When we gave them training for empowerment, they did not have access to technology. So this gap was a big lesson learned, and we tried to make it a success at Burli because of this lesson. So first 60 cookers were made at K14, and then we had a problem with transportation. The focal points were disturbed, and then we started getting kits from Germany, and 500 cookers working in the villages, starting with individual Burli graduates who were specifically trained in solar cooking, and they were first trained, and then they could take the kits home and use them. They were trained in assembly, maintaining and using, and then microcredit groups were trained at Burli, many microcredit groups, and they started making these things, and it became a source of livelihood. There is a shop that they are running in the area, and many local level government functionaries, and they make midday meal for children and nutrition for small government programs. And then we had High-Tech coming to help training the young tribal women. Jimmy was very particular that we must train local people how to train others. So we started the training of solar cookers, manufacturing, and then this is also an example of a solar tea stall run by a early graduate in her village, and she's making a lot of money. And there is you can see deep frying of snacks and bakery made at Bali. And then Jimmy was asked to make solar kitchens in the area, in the poor schools of tribal area. So he built 4 big kitchens in the area. And then, unfortunately, he passed away in a road accident in 2011, just before when we were planning, and we had built a house in a village to continue the work and our retirement. This is our place where we set up. This is Jimmy McGilligan Center for Sustainable Development, and there is a kitchen there, solar kitchen. This is the only solar kitchen in India in any village home, and it's a home which is all run by solar energy and wind energy. And there is a constant work going on. It's not a funded project, and I'm not paid by anybody, but I'm doing it out of my passion to continue and sustain the effort. And here regularly the groups of women, farmers, students come, and we train them, and they have been given light power supply in the area, and we are living in, again, neighborhood is tribal community, and the work goes on all the time. Almost every day, in a sunny day, we are demonstrating 7 types of various cookers, and researchers, school students, and college students are coming. And this is Jimmy's memorial program. Ajay Chandler comes every year, Deepak, and we have his sister is a chef, and recently we organized this special 1-week program. Whether it is my birthday or Jimmy's and anniversary, it's all solar cooking and solar cooking program. And we are very happy that we are able to do this. And what we have found out of this experience, that women who have gone to their villages, the impact is not just health and smoke. Jimmy used to say, it's women cooking in smoky kitchens is a violence against them. We thought it's mainly smoke and health, but and then we also found that the livelihood is there, they are able to make their livelihood. But the most important feedback we got, that they said we feel safe. Maximum numbers of rapes take place, rapes are done when women go 20 miles to pick up food. We had no idea that this is possible, and we have focused on collecting data from 1998 till now. 99% of the cookers are working, and women are very happy with the cooker. And they also told us, earlier cooking on fire has been men's agenda, women's agenda. Only women had to cook all the time. But these cookers, especially SK40, are gender friendly, and they are very happy that now men are cooking and helping them. So it has been a socio-economic and psychological impact, as well as it has led to now our interest in we could host the International Solar Food Processing Conference in 2009 in India. Now we have Solar Food Processing Network. We have also formed a local solar food processing network, and we are connecting the organic food to solar energy and general devices of solar and renewable energy in general. And we had solar punch recently. I'm very happy that Ellen is here. And we have beautiful programs for solar cooking and impact on people. Thank you so much for having me here.